Hey YouTube, it's your girl Chic from Chic Say What. I am coming on tonight. I wanted to talk about the fashion designer Virgil Abloh, who recently passed away. If you're like me, you may have initially heard his name connected to the rapper Kanye West over the years. I know that's how I would kind of hear Virgil's name. Seem like Kanye for the last few years couldn't really do an interview without Virgil's name coming up. So there was some history there between the two men as it pertained to just fashion, Louis Vuitton. Like usually when I would hear Kanye, talking about Virgil, it just at that point it was the two men kind of not their relationship not being the best anymore, just due to just Virgil working with Louis Vuitton. So there's some history there. But tonight I want to do a video and just get into some things. I want to talk about Virgil Abloh and who he was. Also, I came to learn today that Kanye West paid tribute to Virgil at his Sunday service. To be honest, I didn't even really know Kanye was really doing the Sunday service anymore. I guess I hadn't really heard anyone talking about it as of late. At one point, you would always hear people talk about it. So I don't know if people are kind of just used to him doing it to where that's his thing. But Kanye West paid tribute to Virgil Abloh on Sunday. So I'm going to share my screen. I'll show an article and a video of his, I guess, congregation doing the tribute. They sang Adele's version of Easy on Me, or rendition. Well, the choir sang a rendition of Adele's Easy on Me song. So I want to share that. So let me, share my screen. Thanks for joining. If any of you are catching me live as you come in, if you could please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. Because if you know me, I'm real random over here. But when it moves me to talk about something, sis jumps on. So that's what I'm doing tonight. I wanted to just dive into the life of Virgil Abloh. Like many people who passed away, unfortunately, that's when a lot of us come to learn who these great people really are. I mean, a lot of times, they were great people. We have some where we like, okay, they kind of was shaky when they were walking these streets, but that wasn't the case with Virgil. As I researched him, I just came across, positive things said about him, with the articles. So I wanted to just go in and get into it and just share first, Kanye's sentiments for Virgil, who he considered to be a friend and maybe even a brother, even though, they had their differences, but, that's family, right? Family, friends, you have your differences, but you tend to, find your way back to one another. So this article was from HollywoodReporter.com. And it reads, Kanye West pays tribute to Virgil Abloh at Sunday service. So this was dated today, November 29th. So it reads, during the event, a tribute to Abloh was shared while the rapper's choir sang a rendition of Adele's Easy on Me song. I don't think I'm familiar with the song Easy on Me, but I'm going to go ahead and play it. Some of you may have heard the song, but it was a new one to me. I do like Adele. I'm just not familiar with this song. So here's a picture of the two gentlemen. So it says, just hours after the death of Virgil Abloh, a multidisciplinary architect, entrepreneur, and fashion designer, was announced on Sunday. Kanye West, now called Ye, paid tribute to his longtime friend and collaborator. During Sunday service, which was live streamed at donnaalive.com, a tribute to Abloh was shared on the screen. In loving memory of Virgil Abloh, the creative director of Donda. Ye's choir sang a rendition of Easy on Me, the lead single from Adele's fourth studio album, 30, Um, Lyrics from the first version, the verse were slightly reworked for the occasion, with the choir singing, "I know your love flows like a river, and I could wash myself in it forever. I know there is hope in these waters, but I can't bring myself to swim when I am drowning in my sin." Wow, that's deep. I have to go out. I guess this song that they sang of Adele's is from her fourth album. So I guess this may be from her latest album. I know I have been hearing Adele's name out there in the street. So I guess she has this new album. So that's probably makes sense why I hadn't heard the song before. But I would really like to know, hear what the original version sounds like. But just the lyrics that I'm reading, that we see on this screen, it sounds very touching. So here's a video of the performance that I want to share. And so you can hear this awesome choir do its thing and pay tribute. Well, before we go on with that, before we go on with that video, let's go finish going through this article. Abloh died of cardiac angiosarcoma, a rare and aggressive form of cancer, at the age of 41. Abloh's historic appointment as the first Black person to serve as an artistic director of Louis Vuitton's menswear collection, in Louis Vuitton's men's history, made waves in the luxury fashion world in 2018. Beyond his work at the storied French fashion house, Abloh was first known as the founder and CEO of high-end streetwear brand Off-White, and also a creative director for fellow Chicago native West. Since 2007, Abloh and West worked on several projects together. Abloh designed the Yeezus and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy album covers, and most recently led the artistic direction for Donda, West's latest musical offering and design agency. On November 30th, Abloh's Spring/Summer 22 collection for Louis Vuitton will be presented in Miami, Florida. So that's tomorrow, where the fashion house will soon open a new men's store in the city's design district. According to Louis Vuitton's official Twitter account, the presentation will take place at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I will go ahead and play the video with the choir singing.
I know your love flows like a river, and I could wash myself in it forever. I know there is hope in these waters, but I can't bring myself to swim when I am drowning in my sin. No Savior, please come in. Go easy on me, Father. I am still a child, and I need a chance to
Okay, so that was pretty much a snippet of the video. Yeah, I don't want to have any copyright issues or anything pertaining to that. So, but I always drop the links to the material that I share so you can go back and find it. But yes, I mean, it's just a sad time, for people in particular in the fashion world. I'm going to share an article that discusses pretty much more about the relationship with Kanye West and Virgil. So let me share my screen for that. Okay, so this is an article from thesun.com. So, partners in design, what was Virgil Abloh's relationship with Kanye West? So it says Virgil and Kanye began working with each other in the early 2000s, both of them being creatives on their rise in Chicago. In 2002, Virgil graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Madison with an undergraduate degree in civil engineering, according to Vogue. Virgil was rumored to have skipped his final critique in order to take a meeting with Kanye's manager at the time, John Monopoly. After getting his master's at a school in Chicago, Virgil went on to intern at Fendi alongside Kanye West in 2009. They caught the attention of Louis Vuitton CEO Michael Burke, who once told the New York Times, "I was really impressed with how Abloh and West brought a whole new vibe to the studio and were disruptive in the best way." Virgil could create a metaphor and a new vocabulary to describe something as old school as Fendi. I have been following his career ever since. In 2010, Virgil became the creative director of Kanye's creative agency, Donda. He then was the art director behind the album Watch the Throne by Jay-Z and Kanye, which earned him a Grammy nomination. And see, what is Donda? Donda is Kanye West's creative agency named after his late mother. The company was founded in January 2012 with Kanye making the announcement at the time via Twitter. In a series of tweets, Kanye alleged that Donda would pick up where Steve Jobs left off, operate as a design company, which will galvanize amazing thinkers in a creative space to bounce their dreams and ideas. The goal to make products and experiences that people want and can afford. According to Donda Twitter account, they are a content, experience, and product company founded by Kanye West, galvanizing creative thinkers. Donda works with artists on album and song covers, music videos, films, stage design, marketing, and print media. The website currently shows a blank gray background with the words "in loving memory of Virgil Abloh, the creative director of Donda," written across the screen. Donda is also the name of Kanye's 10th studio album released August 2021. So this is a picture of the two men. So looks like there's been some other celebrities who've spoken out following learning of the death of Virgil Abloh. So again, Virgil passed away Sunday, November 28th, following a secret battle with rare cancer. Kanye has yet to post anything on his social media accounts except for a link to Donda's website, which features a tribute to the late Virgil Abloh. A multitude of other celebrities have begun to post tributes to the beloved fashion designer. So Sir Pharrell Williams took to his Twitter account to honor Virgil, writing, "My heart is broken. Virgil, you were a kind, generous, thoughtful, creative genius. Your work as a human and your work as a spiritual being will live forever. Sending love and light to your wife, children, family, and day ones. You're with the master now. Shine." Idris Elba wrote, "Too soon, Virgil. You will be missed from this world, man." Fellow designer Marc Jacobs commented on the Instagram announcement of Virgil's death, writing, I am so sorry to read this. My thoughts and prayers go out to his family and loved ones. May you rest in peace and power, dear Virgil." Hailey Bieber, who was a close friend of Virgil's, shared a series of photos of them together, including images of her wedding dress, which he designed. Virgil completely changed the way I looked at street style and fashion. The way he looked at things inspired me deeply, she wrote. I will never be able to fully express how grateful I am to have known him and worked with him, from walking on his runways to having him design my wedding dress and all the other amazing moments in between. I felt he was always rooting for me. Wow. So again, he sounded like a great man. He left a lasting impression for people in a positive way. When for those who were blessed enough to encounter him. Let's look at Hailey Bieber's, because they said he designed her wedding dress. So I want to see her wedding dress so we can see what that kind of wedding dress. Let's see what that dress is looking like. Okay, so let me share my screen because I want to see what the wedding dress. Apparently, he designed Hailey Bieber's wedding dress. So I want to show what her wedding dress looked like, just in case anyone else didn't see it. It was a beautiful gown. Let's look at this one. Hopefully you can still see it when I try to make it larger. Yeah. I wonder how much he paid for that dress. Beautiful. It's a very pretty dress. Just a nice, simple, elegant, wasn't over the top. I really like that dress. It looks great on her. So, a lot of people, they say he secretly battled cancer. I went to his Instagram page, and I'll share that as well. Let me see. Because I wanted to just get a glimpse of his life and just see, okay. Because, like sometimes before, especially when someone's dealing with cancer, a lot of times their look, will change. They'll start to not look so healthy. So I went to his Instagram, and I'll share my screen so you can see it with me. But as I looked through his Instagram, it's like I didn't see any pictures or anything as far as the pictures of him where he looked to be not doing well, Let's see what cancer, a lot of times, you'll see, people kind of lose a lot of weight. Remember the guy from the Black Panther, his name isn't coming to me right now, but a lot of times, like, you'll see pictures floating around of someone and you're like, okay, they not really looking so good, so hot. But that's not something that I saw with Virgil. And the pictures that I, so far taken a look at, they were all, pretty much recent pictures. So apparently, I think in 2019, he was diagnosed, with this rare type of cancer. Here's another picture.
Where at Louis Vuitton, I live in Saint-Germain. I look at Paris as this sort of like museum. Streets that I walk down are older than, this whole country that we can sit amongst. For me, it gives like a great way to look at modern society. And emblematic is one of my favorite Christo works, which is the rapping upon neuf. which is the bridge that my window overlooks. It's the actual address of my studio. I design menswear at Louis.
There was let me see. There was a news clip that kind of covered some information about him too. I'll share. And it had some interesting information about, his background.
Fashion designer Virgil Abloh. Abloh was a groundbreaking streetwear artist who became the first Black man to be an artistic director for Louis Vuitton. He was just 41 years old when he died yesterday of cancer. Tributes are pouring in from other big names in the fashion and entertainment industry. Our national correspondent, Jerika Duncan, has more on Abloh's lasting impact, which came from his firm belief in his own talent.
Those things that hold you back from sort of executing on your dream are myths.
For Virgil Abloh, there was plenty that could have held him back. The first-generation American whose parents immigrated from Ghana had no formal fashion training. Instead, he graduated with an engineering degree and a master's in architecture.
I did not ever think that I could be a designer with a capital D because no one looked like me. Just plain and simple.
It was after meeting and working with Kanye West, now known as Ye, that Abloh became a staple in fashion. His designs were on the cover of magazines, down the wedding aisle, and even on the tennis court. And just months ago, Abloh became the most powerful Black executive at one of the most powerful luxury brands when his own label, Off-White, was acquired by Louis Vuitton's parent company.
Being at Vuitton, I think it's super profound on a business and CEO and management levels. Like if you find a creative that's passionate, they will carry the baton.
But Abloh was an artist beyond just high fashion. He worked on sneakers, water bottles, art exhibits, and even spent time as a DJ.
Virgil! I hope that through my narrative, people see that in themselves, that anything is achievable and there's different genres are just made to be jumped over.
He put that hope into action by creating a $1 million scholarship fund to bring more Black students into the fashion industry.
Let's make the world that we wanted to see. Like, I'm legitimately like, who can we empower next?
Abloh's cancer diagnosis in 2019 was unknown to the public. In a statement, his family said his work ethic was infinite. It was curiosity and optimism that never wavered since his diagnosis. The CEO of Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy, called Abloh a visionary and a man with a beautiful soul. He is survived by his wife and 2 children. And to look back,
one thing, I guess, when I listened to that article that I didn't know, that I hadn't heard anyone talk about, is that Louis Vuitton had, acquired, his brand Off-White from one of their parent companies. And I just noticed, when I learned that, it's just like oftentimes, unfortunately, especially within our community, the Black community, following an entertainer or an artist or, someone in the industry making a big power move, suddenly they're gone. They're no longer with us. So it's just like, okay, so I think it was like a month ago. I'm gonna look that up and see and try to learn more about that acquisition. But I would imagine there was a lot of money made there, by Louis. By Virgil, I guess, when Louis Vuitton went ahead and acquired that brand. So let me try to see what I can find on that and read more about Virgil, Off-White, and Louis Vuitton. Off-White. So let's see what we find about that, because that one was new to me. Let's see. Brand. I found that to be quite interesting. Let's see. It's Off-White owned by Louis Vuitton. Trying to find an article that would speak to what I'm looking for. Louis Vuitton brand is Off-White. And also, as I was preparing for this video, it just seems like anything that I was trying to locate on the internet pertaining to Virgil, it only was like bringing up like present information, new articles versus like, you know, old articles about him. So I found that to be quite interesting because I wanted to find some content pertaining to, you know, Kanye West and Virgil, you know, things pre Virgil's death, but everything that I'd bring up or in my search, it would only be like present day information. It's just like, okay, well, this man did have a history prior to his death, but you can't, it doesn't come up. It's the oddest thing. But I'm really interested in knowing more about that collaboration with Louis Vuitton and the Off-White brand. I would like to know because I don't remember, you know, that hitting the media big. I mean, I don't know if I just missed it, but that sounded like, you know, it was a big deal with that taking place. Something that would have been newsworthy. So let me see. If any of you were familiar or had heard about, you know, Louis Vuitton acquiring the Off-White, drop in the comments or the chat because that was definitely news to me. Louis Vuitton. So I'm trying to find creative ways to get the information I want because I'm not finding it. Because like I said, it's just, you see, it happens a lot, like after big power moves, like what it happened with Prince, it happened with Michael Jackson. You hear it a lot, you know, where it was somebody where, you know, following, you know, learning that they just made a big, you know, power play that kind of gained them a lot of money or control or things like that. You know, it's like suddenly they're gone, or they'll suddenly leave us maybe before the deal is completed. So, but yeah, I'm not coming across that collaboration information online yet about that collaboration, or I guess Louis Vuitton acquiring the Off-White brand, which is kind of interesting because it doesn't seem like it would be that hard to, you know, to find this information online. Please share the link or information if any of you listening can locate that information. But again, you know, he leaves behind a wife and two small children. So it's evident, that his legacy will carry on. He will be remembered. As we learned in one of the articles we read, there will be a new line of products, revealed tomorrow in Florida. So I'd imagine, again, it's another situation where a lot of times people, you're what they say, you're worth more dead than alive, because I don't know. I would imagine, I don't know if it was already scheduled for the release of this line for tomorrow. What is that, Miami? Let me see if I can find that. Was it already scheduled for him to be having the spring summer 2020 collection released, or are they just releasing it early because of his death? But we know there's going to be a lot of money made from that. So tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this Abloh Spring Summer 22 collection for Louis Vuitton will be presented. So I know that's going to get big news. Let's see, what is his value? How much is he worth? Let me see. Let's look up his net worth. Let's see. So let's share my screen so we can check this out and see what Virgil's pockets was looking like. I believe I had learned something about the wife is going to be getting like $20 million. So I don't know if that's maybe his net worth. So let's click on this and see. Okay. What is Virgil Abloh's net worth in 2021? As per Celebrity Net Worth, Virgil has a net worth of $100 million. Apart from running his own brand, Virgil has also been appointed as the artistic director of Louis Vuitton in 2018. At the same time, the company bought 60% of its shares, allowing Virgil to work across the brand. Let's see. His talent was also recognized by rapper Kanye West, who now goes by Ye, as Virgil was appointed as the rapper's former creative director. As per the outlet, the base salary by LVMH was $10 million per year. So he was a rich young man, 41. That's my age. He was very young. Very young. Died with a lot of money in the bank. Even though Virgil did not study fashion, his love for it had always been there. It all started when he began writing a blog titled The Brilliance and made his own t-shirts. Following this, he managed to grow the brand. Was he married? Yes, Virgil was married. He met his wife Shannon in high school, and the pair dated for 10 years before getting married. Shannon and Virgil liked to keep their relationship private, so not a lot is known about the marriage. The pair is also proud parents of 2 children, a son, Gray, and a daughter, Lo. So a lot of people didn't even know Virgil was married. That was another thing. No. And I'll share some pictures of his family, because actually when I went to the Instagram page, he really didn't really have pictures of his family. It was pretty much just, I guess, more of like his professional world, I guess you could say. But I'll look up some pictures of his wife. You can see what she looks like. Let's see. Okay, so this is Virgil's wife, Shannon. think they got married in maybe 2009. They've been married about 12 years. And there was some pictures of the family. It looks like with the daughter, they had 2 kids. So that's low. Yeah, so a lot of people following his death is, learning a lot about him. Okay, here's a picture, Christmas picture. I don't know what year that was, but picture of him, the wife, and the kids. Yeah, so he was definitely a mover and a shaker. She kind of gives me Adele vibes, pre-weight loss Adele. Yeah, that's what she kind of reminds me of. The fluffy version of Adele. But, he was a mover and a shaker in the industry, as we see. A lot of celebrities had interaction with him, did business with him. This, I learned also today, he had designed this album cover with Pop Smoke. So that was Virgil's work. So that was something new that I also learned about our guy, Virgil. And it looks like this was when he did an interview with Naomi Campbell. So he was definitely a smart and a talented man that made smart business moves that put him in high places. He was respected. He definitely deserves to be remembered for the great works that he did. And he sounded like he was just a great person, period. Like I said, I haven't heard yet anything negative really about him. I did see when I was researching this, like there was a picture of, I guess his company, and it was like no black people like in the company. Y'all remember when Jay-Z and Beyonce, when they did some business or had some company like in this other country, and it was like a picture of the whole staff and no black person in sight. It kind of gave me that feel, that vibe of when that happened. But yeah, it was like this picture of Virgil, and then you had all these like white people or non-black people, at least probably was some non-whites, but you definitely didn't see any black people in the picture. And it was like, okay, that was the staff. So but he just seemed like he was a cool dude. As I say, everybody ain't gonna rock with everything you do, but I mean, it's okay. You just gotta move in your purpose, so that's the lesson for that, to move in your purpose, to be inspired. This was a smart man that, he had a degree in engineering. And he happened to like fashion. Kanye said the same thing. Like, he just always took a liking to fashion. And that was something both of the men, had in common. And they both found a way to basically build an empire from just the things that they love. That's what they say to do, right? Stories like that is definitely inspirational for me. When I hear about people who just made power moves just on the strength of their passion, doing what they love, whatever that is, that's just, it's very motivating, because we all have something, that we're good at it. So it just, the challenge is, okay, determining, okay, how you can monopolize off of that. How can you create that into a brand or turn that into a brand? How can you market that? How can you present that in a way that people want it, more and more of it? And it's something that I feel like, for the most part, we all, have within us. We just got to tap into it. And then, when you identify it, you got to just be consistent with what you're doing, in order to, garner the success. And Virgil did just that. If nothing else, the man was truly, consistent in his works. He was very consistent. Kanye's very consistent. I can see how they kind of linked in, had such a great relationship because they moved very, similar. I guess I would say Virgil kind of moved more in silence. Kanye, you ain't calling him silence, but, when you look at their works or their catalogs, like you see the connection when it comes to just fashion, and you're like, okay, I can see how the two connected, where, fashion was where that was their common ground, where they kind of met in the middle. That's how they always found themselves back to each other. It's like that common ground. And as I say, I look through Virgil's Instagram, and when I see pictures of him, I just see a vibrant man living life. Yeah. A vibrant 41-year-old man. I thought these were like some really nice shoes. But yeah, he was just living life, here today, gone tomorrow. Life is what you make it. You got to make it do what it do with the time that you have. Like, there is no tomorrow. And I'm sure you couldn't have told Virgil or his family or loved ones that today he wouldn't be here. That's an interesting outfit. But not surprised for fashion designers. Sometimes I see pieces and I'll be like, okay, do y'all make this stuff just for the runway? Because I ain't ever seen somebody just walking down the street wearing any of that. But to me, it seemed like the more outlandish it looks, the more expensive it is. And I'll really be wondering who in the world is wearing this stuff. I guess maybe in the other countries, because I don't be seeing it walking around my streets. Okay, so this is September 2nd. That mat reads September 30th, 2019. They say he was diagnosed in 2019. Looks like a healthy man to me, but got those yellow shoes on that I said that I like. This is August 4th. So he was still moving like he was the man and living his best life. So if we take nothing else from this situation, what we can take is the importance of living your best life while you are here. Move like there is no tomorrow. So whatever you've been contemplating doing, that hot idea, you just got to go for it. Period. You just got to go for it. That's what I tell myself. I just have to go for it. Make it do what it do. Make it do what it do, because life still goes on. What you don't do, the next will. And you might be like, man, I should have did that. You know, I knew that was going to be it, you know, so we can't live in the woulda, coulda, shouldas. We got to kind of keep it going. So, but I'll jump off of here. I just want to come out here and just talk about our brother and his death, and gain more insight on who he was, Virgil Abloh. He was a great man. Definitely one to be inspired by. Definitely a man to be inspired by. And I hope that those who do come across this video, you all identify someone, something to be inspired by, so it can keep you going and elevate. So therefore you'll see better days. So please like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the notification bell so you know when I do go live. If you have any suggestions for content, you know, drop it in the comments as well. I thank you for joining. For those who did catch the live stream, and for those who do catch the playback, I thank you as well. So until the next broadcast, peace.